Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. Today I'm going to be working on my Jade, which has been indoors, but I noticed a little webbing on it, so I think those spider mites were having a field day with it. So I brought it out here, I sprayed it with soap and water, I rinsed it clean, and now I want to prune it up and get some structure to this. This was my Jade forest. Let's take a look at it. These are cuttings off of a house plant. This is a very nice mica pot. I hope whoever makes these in Korea never stops, because this is quite a good option, especially for my deciduous trees that are outdoors. Okay, this one's been in the house and it's growing very nicely. And I'm going to take a look at the places where I cut back branches last time and see what happened. First things first, I want to take care of some obvious flaws, like this branch going down here, this leaf coming out at this point. You know what? Before I do any of that, I want to show you something. As everyone knows who grows jades, when a leaf falls, sometimes they start to grow, and they grow from a leaf like a baby from an umbilical cord. And until they establish their own roots, they need that umbilical cord. I need to get these out of the pot and put them in their own little pot. And I'll do that and put them in a little tray of water while I wait to finish pruning the trees. So this is set down roots, and I don't want to disturb them. Wow, look at that. Okay, I don't know if that root is attached to this or to the main tree, but I'm going to have to cut it. I'll cut it as far down as possible. This will go in a little tray of water for a little while. Ah, this one was easy. I'm going to go close on this. Little jade tree. Just took a chance and started growing. I'm going to have to cut that umbilical cord. So where did I leave off? I cut off a leaf here, and I'm going to go around and look for leaves that kind of are growing out of a dumb place for now. This one here, which is about to break off. This one down here. Now I may be taking some of these branches off, but this is just to help me see into the forest here. This tree. I have two nice branches that divide near each other, but not right at each other. So it's a nice progression of branches. So do I need this one in the back at all? And I don't think I do. And I'm going to take that right off. I'm going to bite into what was the pruning stub from the last time. I got these two branches right after that. This is starting to divide down here, starting to get a little branch. Let me clean up something. That's an old leaf, that'll dry out. I'm gonna let that piece grow, because you never know. There's a bud on this side too that may be activated by something I do now. I'm going to cut it down to here, leaving a lot for dieback. And I'm gonna cut this one down to there, leaving as much as possible for dieback. And that one in the back, if possible, let's see, which direction do I want that to grow? Just like Portulacaria afras, you get two in one direction and then 2 90 degrees from that, then it goes back to 2 in that direction. So yes, directional pruning is easier. But what you don't know is if you're going to get a branch going in that direction or this, or both. I'll take that back to there. This low branch, that's my back branch. I'm not sure when this developed. I think I might have pruned it here, and perhaps again here. Yeah, and this is all the new growth since I pruned it last. So I'm going to take it back to here. I have nice taper here. That's pretty straight, but I think it would taper as it grows. This one has a little bit of taper. This, unfortunately, divides way, way up here. I would have liked to see that happen further down. I'm going to take it further down and hope for the best. Okay, that's my back tree. It's kind of my main focus tree. This planting just wants to work together with itself. I'm going to take this lower leaf off and this one. Now, the tree in front of it was cut here and a branch grew out from here. I like that there's a branch there, so I think I'm going to cut it here and hope for it to divide down there. Interesting, that bud here, I don't see buds anywhere else like that. So this one was already stimulated, and I believe I'll get some branching there, which would be wonderful. That would be a great place for it to start to divide. All right, so I'm on this tree, which is next to it. I'm going to take this branch off entirely. I'm going to trim this one back to here, hoping something grows upwards and in this direction, kind of to fill that spot. Just going to take that leaf off, but I think I want to take this off entirely, really to simplify this tree. All right, let me study what I did and what I want to do. If changing the orientation of this tree entirely, I could be very drastic and take this bar branch off of here too. Just let this one grow, and I think I will. And similarly, I will cut into the pruning stub from the last go round. Now, if I'm doing this for structure, I want to keep that in mind. What do I want these two branches to do? This one divides back here, and one goes in one direction, and the other one, it's a pretty wide Y right here, but it does divide. So can I make it divide again? Go back to the first two leaves on both sides. That is very drastic for that branch. Now this one has a little curve to it, which I kind of like. I'm going to cut it just beyond the first part of the curve. Hopefully you can see that. And let's see what grows there. I hope these things actually do fall off eventually. Yeah, they do. That tree is done. And a good front is starting to look like right here, with these trees just the way they are, you know, in relation to one another. All right, so what's going on here? Do I want to do the same sort of thing where I pick one of these branches to grow up? That's a tough decision. I like this one, and I like how it flows, and I like how it would taper going in this direction. But I'm also not hating this. And I'm not talking either or now, I'm talking both. So, if I let this one grow, what do I want it to do? I want it to divide right here and in this direction. So I'm cutting it there. This one, it's kind of interesting that it does this at almost at that intersection. But if I let that grow, it's going to thicken this whole area up and make it even worse for me. So I'm going to take that off. I've decided I am keeping this branch. I want it to divide down here. So let's give my jade forest a spin. I'm going to find what I think is the front, a new front, and I'll mark it. If that's my new front, and this is too long. I have to tell you folks, I'm a lot bolder when you're watching me than I would normally be. What should I do here? I said I was going to leave that, didn't I? Because you need options. But I've got that bud right there. This is blocking this intersection. And this is blocking that intersection. So, let me pick a front. I'm thinking something like this. Yeah, that would be the front. And that can move. All right, I'll put this one back in the house. Maybe I'll get some rubber cement on these. I know they dry up. These are big cuts. And I keep them pretty dry. I water them every 3 days or so. There's your front. Going around to the back. Coming back around. And back to the front. Thank you for keeping me company in my backyard.